Good morning and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. The news is brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, as well as Connexus, offering fiber internet in Clinton. Click the icon on DeWittDailyNews.com to find out more. And as always, the news streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Here's what we got new for you on this foggy Friday morning. A DeWitt County official is reacting to this week's announcement between Constellation and Meta. DeWitt County Sheriff Mike Walker says the agreement to keep the power plant in operation for another 20 years is great, not just because of the jobs it creates for the area, but it keeps a great community partner around for a long time.
Yeah, that came. We've been hearing rumors about some different things happening out there, and then when that came out, I'd heard about it. Then I saw it on Fox News and then some other news outlets. And, not only is that a great thing for Clinton and DeWitt County, I think that's a great thing for Central Illinois, because my understanding is they're going to be doing some things with, I believe, what they call a microreactor. I'm not real familiar with exactly what all they're going to be doing, but they're going to increase the production. My understanding is this Meta is going to be purchasing some of that extra energy, but not all of it. So it's going to increase the output of energy out there at the power plant. And, it's obviously will probably generate some more tax revenue for the county, because I would assume that if they are doing things, putting in these micro reactors, whatever, that's going to increase the value. So then their assessed value will go up, and that will help the school districts, the county, the friendship center, all these things that rely on local property tax.
The sheriff is hopeful the revenue generated by the likely increased EAV will allow his department to increase its wages and better retain staff.
I think it will help. Of course, anytime we get more revenue in the county, there's potential that it could help, all county employees in the county in general, because, you're generating more revenue. So it could potentially lead to, higher wages, better benefits, things like that. As we've talked, that's one of the issues that we continue to have to contend with within the sheriff's office is, the wages and things. We get good people here as deputies, corrections, dispatchers. We train them and then they move on. I'm losing another deputy. He's going to be leaving. He's in the process now, and I'm very confident he's going to get through everything, and I'm going to be losing him to McLean County. That's another position I got to fill. I'm looking to lose a correctional officer to McLean County, basically because of both, because of wages and benefits. We're never going to be able to compete with those really big agencies, but a lot of these people that we have that we're getting hired and at our office are have local ties, and when people have local ties, they're willing to stay here for a little bit less money than going to Bloomington for $107,000, but you're going to be going from call to call and really earning that money and things like that. So, hopefully that income for the county and the city will increase. And
according to Sheriff Walker, because the sheriff's office is one of the first lines of response to an emergency, the power plant has supported them in various ways over the many years of being in the community.
We get equipment, their security, they upgrade their equipment, very frequently, because they have the funds to do that. And we have received equipment. There's nothing wrong with it. It's very good. It's just that they, instead of keeping a piece of equipment that might be a little bit outdated, they upgrade it right away. So it's stuff, that they sign an agreement with us and they give it to us, and we're able to use it. So
wow.
Like I said, I've been here since 1989. We've had a great relationship with the security forces out there. We're obligated to provide them with, if there's in case of emergency out there, we're obligated to provide them with 2 deputies within a certain amount of time, and we're able to do that. They know what kind of equipment we have that we can use to support them. Obviously, if there's something inside the building, inside the power plant itself, we're not going to be much help to them, because that's a big place out there. I'm not going to be able to send a deputy in there and say, go find the bad guy, because there's so many places to go. We don't know now if they're short staffed, or we can get people in here. We can, partner with a security force and be, aid and assistant backup for them. But our job, if anything ever happens out there as far as hostile action base or anything like that, is going to be secure perimeter and not allow any other people inside there.
The summer also happens to be an every other year drill for the power plant that involves multiple agencies surrounding the plant. We'll have more on that with the sheriff soon on regional radio. Coming up shortly on this expanded newscast, pickleball courts at Rotary Park to get maintenance. The summer reading kickoff event recently hosted by the Warner Library was just the beginning of a season of programming to keep kids busy and learning. Mel Snow, Youth Program Director at the library, indicates that they have plenty of programming targeted at very young children, including toddler time, which is resuming after a hiatus in May.
We have youth and family and teen events on the children's floor, but we also have just events that we have going on throughout summer, like our story time. So tomorrow is our first toddler time back. We had a break during May, and so we have toddler time tomorrow. On Friday, we have preschool pal story time, and then afterwards, this is our first week that we are having our stay and play program. So when you're finished with story time, we've noticed that a lot of the families like to just stay and hang out on the children's floor. So now we've made it just its own program passively, where we're going to put out extra toys and the families can kind of mingle and make friends and meet other caregivers that are there, and just kind of make community connections, which is so important. So this week, if you've got a toddler, bring them for toddler time tomorrow, and then we'll have stay and play immediately after. And then on Friday we have preschool pals. So if you have a preschool age child, you could bring them then, and then we'll have stay and play for their age as well afterwards on Friday.
Snow notes that the library staff want people to feel welcome in their facilities. They try to encourage the space to allow socializing and building community. Adult Program Director Emily Dunham adds that it's also a great place to allow children to build social skills.
Yes, and also for their parents, that if maybe you're new to town or if you're a new parent and you want to meet other new parents, it's a great way for that community building as well. So yeah,
and you really do get to watch these little toddlers make friends with their library friends. Like, it's so cute because then you kind of see them buddy up and they're doing the dances together and they're running out of the room together. They're doing the scavenger hunt together. So you're really watching them build their little friendships just from being at the library. So another core memory that I love to see. And
that's another thing we do. We try to give them more things to do while they're there at the library to encourage them to stay at the library. So for example, every month we'll have 3 different scavenger hunts that go on just to give them something to do on the children's floor, as well as games and toys, and obviously lots of books
on the children's floor. I was like walking down the stairs, I was like, hey Mel, there's a paintbrush over here. She's like, yeah, that's supposed to be there, it's part of the scavenger hunt.
And now we also have Minecraft on the computers upstairs. Kids, Minecraft. And then we also have ABC Mouse for kids to use on the computers upstairs. So we've got lots to do at the library. If you're looking for something to do, lots of quiet reading nooks and lots of books.
The library is passionate about giving students hands-on learning experiences, and Snow points to her new youth art series. Kids will learn how to paint in the styles of famous artists throughout history.
I've got my youth art series, which I kind of spoke about. This is for the 8 to 12-year-olds. Today's our first one, and we're covering Picasso and Cubism. But in 2 weeks, we will do Jackson Pollock splatter painting. July 1st, we're doing Kandinsky. And on the 15th, we're doing Salvador Dali sculptures, and then we're doing pointillism on the 29th. So you can register for all these programs on our website, vwarner.org. It's a series. You don't have to sign up for every single one. You can just come to the ones that you're interested in, but you can expect lots of fun, snacks. We'll be snacking and, just getting messy with art and paint and learning a little bit at the same time. Yes, I'm really excited for that. And they get an actual canvas, and it's an 11 by 14 canvas that they're going to get to take home, and we're going to get to just eat and have fun with your friends and make a mess.
Snow explains that they will also have programming for teens this summer, like the Colorful Square walking tour around the Clinton Square, which ends at Sweet Maze for some free ice cream or snow cones.
And Mel, you're also doing the Colorful Square walking tour?
Yes. So my teen programs, we have a lot of fun teen programs. We're doing rock painting this Thursday.
Cool.
And almost all of my teen programs, I have pizza at.
Great.
So we'll always have free pizza at a teen program. The only one that we don't have it at will be our walking tour, because we're going to be on the move. So it's going to be hard to kind of eat pizza on the move. But the good thing about that one is we are ending at Sweet Maze and having some ice cream or snow cones. So that is on Thursday the 26th. It's Clinton's Colorful walking tour is what we're calling it. And Bobby, our director, will be leading us around the square and talking a little bit about the buildings. There's even some murder and mystery
Ooh.
there. So if you're interested in that, teen-wise for true crime, it'd be right up your alley. And you get free sweet maize at the end of it just for coming. Quick walk of the tour or of the square and learn some history and then get some sweet maize. It'll be really fun. We're meeting at the library that night. So please register for that, 12 to 18-year-olds on July 26th.
The library has tons of events for kids and adults this summer, and you can find out more about the calendar by visiting vwarner.org or following the library on Facebook. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. Let's take a quick 60-second break with a quick word from our sponsors.
Experience the power of better connection with Connexus Fiber Internet. Connexus delivers ultra-fast, reliable speeds to keep you connected at the speed of life. Whether you're working from home, streaming your favorite shows, or gaming with your friends, Connexus has you covered. Say goodbye to buffering and dropped calls and say hello to fiber fast internet. Ready to upgrade your connection? Sign up today by clicking the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Nothing connects us like Connexus.
Baum Chevrolet Buick offers full transportation options while giving you peace of mind. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. This is what we do every day. We listen to you, give you options for routine maintenance, major mechanical problems, or collision repairs with a staff that's knowledgeable to find the best option for you. Baum Chevrolet Buick, your full-service dealer. See us at baumchevybuick.com right from the start.
You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. I'm your host, Ben Hubbard. Rotary Park's pickleball courts have become a hotspot in Clinton thanks to the resurgence of pickleball. Any given evening when the weather is nice, players will congregate for games, and the court will be getting some maintenance soon, says Tony Harris, city administrator for the city of Clinton.
Yeah, the city of Clinton's proud of all of our parks. And Rotary Park with the pickleball courts, that's one of them, and it's used a lot. We maintain that. We were told that the netting needed some attention, so that's basically what we're taking care of there. So Rotary Park, we're maintaining that. We still have the new park system, the new playground equipment coming in, and that's going to be later on. Again, I mentioned that last time. We're delayed in that, but that's still on target for later this year or late summer, early fall.
Last month, the city also approved the purchase of updated Christmas decorations for the downtown area.
So Steve Law brought this forth. He's our public works director, and he mentioned that the old equipment, some of that Christmas equipment, Christmas lights, things like that, are like 20 years old, and every year they have to get it out early and check it over, make sure they work, rewire, replace bulbs, things like that. So it was just time to replace some of that stuff. So,
okay.
He mentioned last night where it's all going down off the square, about 2 blocks, 1 or 2 blocks off the square in every direction. So it's a good thing.
Also in May, more lots purchased at the Park Lane West subdivision development were approved.
Yeah, that's the Park Lane West new subdivision. Still selling lots there. We just issued our very first building permit there. So that's good. We're going to start seeing some activity there. And I think once that new house starts, I think that there will be other activity out there. So looking forward to seeing that. And that just shows the growth of the city. So that's we're looking forward to it.
Harris also indicates the city council approved the purchase of fireworks for the 4th of July weekend fireworks display that was recently taken over by the city. Coming up shortly on this expanded newscast, movie being filmed in Monticello. The Farmer City Grocery Co-op took a major step forward in May when it began offering online sales. Kurt Homan is the executive director of the DeWitt County Development Council and notes it is a big step for the co-op that began its journey to bring a grocery option to the DeWitt County community.
They are doing orders, and it is essentially a bag of food, of local farm raised food. And I got my first one last week. It's $100, and we got a bunch of fruit and some ground beef and chicken and blue oyster mushrooms, which I'd never heard of, which was kind of interesting. Turnips, cheese, salsa, just a pretty good size bag. And, so it's really healthy, and it's exciting to see them step into retailing some food at this point. The cooler, of course, with the grant was a much needed item to be able to help fill this. So, the downside is you don't always know what's coming in that order of food. The upside is it's really good quality. It's fresh and locally produced, and it supports the grocery store. So I did the first one last week to try it out. They've done it for about a month now, but I just did the first order last week, and they asked, do you want to do one next week after a few days of seeing the food? And I said, yeah, absolutely. Very, very good quality, and exciting to see.
According to Farmer City City Manager Taylor Baxter, the grocery co-op addresses a huge need in the community, and its recent acquisition of a grant through the DCDC will allow the online grocery option to be more streamlined.
Farmer City doesn't have a grocery store, which is a real issue, and being able to get fresh food. We have our Casey's, we have our Dollar General, we have Huck's. There's really nowhere else to get fresh food. So this grocery co-op is a great idea. They're kind of still in the beginning phases of what that could look like, and they've applied for some grants here or there, but they did get one from DCDC. So we're very excited for that. They got, I think, $4,000 is what Kurt said, and it's going to go towards a new cooler, and it's going to go towards a point of sale system. Yeah, because they are doing certain things out of that facility already. They're doing, this is going to sound bad, and Laura's, if she listens to this, Laura, I'm going to screw it up, so I'm sorry. But it's these basket types where they're able to go to different farms that are in the area, and, whether it's meats, vegetables, fruits, that sort of thing, that they've kind of started a little bit. So they have some customers, and this is going to certainly help them with that endeavor. Now they want to grow bigger. They need more investments and more grants, and that's what they're working towards. But for right now, yeah, this DCDC grant is going to help them get some things started, and really excited for them because it is a really, really good thing for Farmer City. If you're interested in the fresh meat and produce that is being provided on a weekly basis in Farmer City, Homan encourages finding the group on Facebook and reaching out to them directly there. Several high-profile actors are filming a movie in Central Illinois this week. Shelley Crawford Stock from the Monticello Chamber of Commerce tells Regional Radio the former Hardee's in Monticello is the site for the shoot.
We've been just a little busy this week. Yep, we were lucky enough to be able to host a movie set here in town. So it's been a lot of fun and a little bit different, and something that is unique and we don't always see, right? We've got a few actors that are here in town for a movie that I've heard the name is Chili Finger. I'm not sure if that will remain the name of it, but they are shooting at our old Hardee's location here in Monticello. And so we've got a sign up that tells the tale. Anyone who will recognize John Goodman's face will obviously see that sign up in front of the Hardee's building, which is kind of fun and unique, and should be a good memory for people for years to come, right?
Sure. According to Crawford Stock, the Monticello Chamber of Commerce is a part of a cooperative that seeks to attract executives in the film industry to utilize locations in Central Illinois for its sets, and Monticello was exactly what they were looking for.
Sure. We are a part of a regional tourism effort. Experience Champaign-Urbana is our regional CVB, which is a tourism entity. And so they get calls and work on attracting folks that want to direct or shoot movies in our area. And so they'll throw out lists of things they need for a given shoot. And so as a result, one of those was an older style fast food restaurant, and we had an empty one at the time. And thankfully the timing was right because it actually has sold, but the new owner was happy to work with them. And so we were thrilled that it worked out for all the parties.
The movie, called Chili Finger, will feature A-list celebrities like John Goodman, Bryan Cranston, and Judy Greer. The story follows a mother whose children have moved on, and she discovers a human finger in her bowl of chili. When she tries to blackmail the owner for money, the situation gets out of control. Now for your local obituaries. Jimmy Allen Jimbo Harpster Sr., 77, of Lake Charles, Louisiana, formerly of Bloomington, Illinois, passed away December 4th at his family home. Graveside services with military honors will be 10 a.m. Tuesday, June 10th at Weldon Cemetery in Weldon, with Ernie Harvey Jr. officiating. Calvert Funeral Home in Clinton is in charge of arrangements. Memorials may be directed to the disabled American veterans. Get news anytime from your computer or your mobile device at DeWitt County's #1 place for news, sports, police blotter, obituaries, and more. Best of all, it's all free all the time, right at your fingertips at DeWittDailyNews.com.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. Could some fence mending be on the agenda today between President Trump and Elon Musk? There are reports the two may have a talk today following their very public and very ugly online falling out yesterday. President Trump's Ivy League dispute, specifically with Harvard University, continues to wind its way through the courts. Hundreds of Russian missiles and drones rained down on Ukraine overnight in what's said to be one of the largest such attacks of the 3-year war. In the Ukrainian capital, Kiev, at least 4 people, including 3 first responders, were killed. If the experts have it right, the May jobs report will show a big slowdown in hiring from April. We're about to find out. The government releasing the May employment report this morning. On Wall Street, stock futures have been higher so far. Dow futures are up more than 100 points. More details, srnnews.com.
With SRN Sports, I'm Andrew Stewart. In the NBA yesterday, Tyrese Halliburton scored with 0.3 of a second left for the Indiana Pacers' first and only lead of the game. The comeback King Pacers did it again, edging the Oklahoma City Thunder 111-110 in Game 1 of the NBA Finals at Oklahoma City. The Pacers were down by 15 with more than 9 minutes left.